All right, welcome everybody to the show. We got an educational show prepared for you today. And we are ready to rock and roll. Okay. I'll be checking the chat later at the end of the stream as always. All right, so episode 6 of How to Succeed. Positive thinking. What a topic. You know, our world is now more than ever overflowing with negative energy, trying to tear good people apart. That's the best I can sum it up. Nowadays, there's hypocrites, backstabbers, evil people who actually want you to listen to them and try to tear down your positive energy, your success. That's how sick these people are. I don't even think they're human beings. I think they're possessed demons. You know, by evil energy. It's one thing for a person to have to defend themselves, you know, to be forced to defend themselves, and they'll fight fire with fire. That's excusable. But for these demons to try to attack other people on purpose and then gang up on them, you know, like this gangster mentality, and even give death threats. It's a really sad world we live in. But luckily this mainly happens online because I never had a death threat offline. I never had psychos come up to me offline. I met some bad people offline in real life, but in the online theater that we have these days, there's a lot of actors and pretenders. They want to act like gangsters, people that are important when they're really not, you know, and then they'll call you names. And just be careful when you're online because it's infested with just the lowest scum on the earth, if you will. There's a lot of 2 faces, 3 faces. They pretend to be your friends when they're not. That's why I just don't take the online world seriously. Not that I ever did. You know, you just have to be careful when you're online. So it has everything to do with positive thinking because you're left with the question, okay, if we're dealing with somebody who's having problems offline and then they come online to vent their anger, because that's all these demons do is when you meet evil people online, you can tell that they're living miserable lives offline because a happy person wouldn't behave that way. If they were really happy, enjoying life, they would not behave that way. So there's a lot of psychos, you know, you got to be careful with, but you'll be all right. Just keep doing what you do. Mind your own success. Losers will always be losers. They're going to try to take you down, and we'll go over that. All right, so let's get right into it. It all starts with self-talk, positive thinking. Whatever you tell yourself is likely what will happen in the end. Okay? So if you keep telling yourself, I can't do that, then chances are you're not going to be able to do that. I can do that. So it's a positive and negative way of thinking. This is why people get so twisted with the concept of positive thinking. They take it, you know, like it's supposed to be rocket science. It's not. It's really simple. That's why it's so difficult for them to implement into their real lives. They don't take it seriously. You know, they look at something like this and they think, oh, this is for kindergartners. No, this is where you first failed in life, which is why you are in the position that you are today. You never took this seriously. You never, I guess because they fear happiness. They feel like they have to suffer. So they behave like evil people, like gangsters, like just evil demons, right? Full of hatred, full of anger, all the negative emotions you can muster. Backstabbers that'll toss you under the bus easily. Like this is why they're incapable of living positive lives. They enjoy the drama. The negative drama, any type of attention will keep them going, but it's not healthy for them. They're literally killing themselves. Offline, not just online. So be very careful with the way you think, because I'm always happy and cheerful. You know, if I have to defend myself or help to defend somebody else, I will go to the max. But only if necessary, because these days I don't really think it's necessary. You know, I mean, I'll just talk over them or ignore them, which will further make them upset. You know, there's trolls everywhere. But offline, if you guys want to deal with positive thinking offline, is the easiest thing to do. But you have to take it seriously, whether we're talking online or offline, okay? So, yes, it really is this simple right here. You're either mostly positive or mostly negative, and if you're in between, you really need to push more towards the positive. Pay attention to how you think, how you feel, the words that you choose, your word choice, right? Your word salad that you choose every day. If you're saying effing this and effing that and this mother effer and all these curse words, you know, that might be okay for a brief moment if you want to just vent your frustration. But don't do it in, like, you know, every single time with every single person. And, you know, I see so many gangster attitudes online. Not for the most part, but, you know, in certain communities that it's just so toxic that it's like, oh, this is really boring and sad, you know, to watch. And especially if you interact with them, you know, it just gets even more pathetic because, like, they insist on being this way. And so the sad thing is that they'll never escape that negative persona that they're addicted to playing. They're actors. They're not being themselves. So it's pretty much, you know, offline, people just pretty much stay quiet if they have this type of personality, because I think they'll bring a lot of shame to themselves offline, face to face. You'd have to be very unintelligent and immature to try to act like that offline. A lot of people will just straight up ignore you and not even take you seriously. They'll even laugh at you, by the way. Alright, so let's proceed. Alright, so positive thinking. Let's see, teamwork, the word team. Coaching, that's what I do, positive coaching. You got to be confident. Business innovation, yes, always thinking of new things to implement, to empower others, to empower yourself. Be organized, training ideas. Yeah, these are good words here. Future motivation, vision. Always have a vision, positive vision. If you're into drama, I feel sorry for you. You really need to move on. Like, for example, even people who watch soap operas, it kind of gets old after a while. It's like the same plots, you know, or TV series, you know, the same types of violent action movies. After a while, it just gets like repetitive. Oh, it's the Russians, it's the Chinese, it's chopping heads off here and arms there. It's like, try to watch something productive, people, like a good documentary. It's okay to watch a popcorn flick every now and then, but try to improve your mind and emotions. Try to try other things, you know, try to learn something, or turn the TV off, you know, switch off Netflix and try to learn something, you know, how to do something, or watch others put stuff together, or, you know, just something productive, for crying out loud, or learn how to relax and be a positive person, because, you know, in this circus of a life, you know, mainly online, it's not good influence, and that kind of seeps into like the whole, you know, Netflix movies and the way some people behave offline, even because they try so desperately to emulate that type of negative behavior offline. That's when it can become dangerous. So I'm here to be your life coach, take it or leave it, to lead you to a better, happier life, to help you achieve the success you deserve. And if it's not with me, try to find it with somebody else. Maybe a friend or family member, or another life coach, or maybe somebody altogether. But always try to improve your life, you know? I mean, it would be an honor if it was with me, but it's okay if you go with somebody else. Or by yourself if you go lone wolf solo. I wish you the best of luck, you know? May you have the wisdom and courage to proceed in a positive direction in your life. I mean, whatever decisions that you take, as long as they're not negative, as long as you're not trying to hurt somebody else, you know. So because when you hurt somebody else, you're only hurting yourself. So that's just, you know, That's just the nature of things. So here we have, you cannot live a positive life with a negative mind. Absolutely. And once again, that's why it's so difficult, because it's so simple. Like the word love. A lot of people run away from the word love because they secretly, deep down inside, feel like they're not worthy to even talk about love. They're shy. They're scared. If people were more honest and more human, they would love to talk about the topic in all different angles, but they don't. They shy away for the most part because they're scared. There's a lot of fear in this world, and fear is at the center of all negative behavior. Once again, if you're defending yourself from something or helping somebody else defend themselves, that's not fear, that's courage, actually. So you need to fight fire with fire. But if it's not in a defense scenario, and if it's in an aggressive, negative, fashion, then yeah, it's negative. It's all negative because there's no solution in sight. So these people, they don't want solutions. They want to continue with their misery. They want to just drag it, because they have nothing else going for them. So don't allow negative thoughts to cloud your mind. They only prevent you from moving forward. As far as getting rid of anything negative. That means negative feelings, negative thoughts, and a negative life. Because you will become a loser in life if you adopt all this negativity. If you love, drama, if you like to see other people fighting, it's the loser's corner. You don't want to be that way. So always seek to improve your life and the lives of others whenever possible. Those who want to, by the way. Alright, so surround yourself with positive, polite, respectful, honorable people. Disconnect yourself from negative losers, as I said before. It really is that simple. So, one by one, you gotta have patience. But it could be that one member joins and then they leave you. For whatever reason. Like I said, there's lots of backstabbers. Now, offline, this works perfectly. Because most people, they're honest, they don't try to pretend to be, social media has created all these personas, these negative personas. So what I'm talking about mainly is offline where this works, but online, no, it's a circus. Good luck trying to do this, to build a team from the, what they call grassroots, from the start. You're going to need a lot of luck. You have to be able to know how to filter through all the demons, because it's an infestation on YouTube. In certain communities. Now, for the rest of the communities on YouTube, they're mainly shy. They might not, like your particular niche, or what other community you're involved in. So, recruiting people. I'm not talking about subscribers, by the way. I'm actually talking about real online friendships to form a team of positive thinkers online who are into a variety of things, not just YouTube, but other internet pages or social media, so yeah, it's really difficult, but don't ever give up on it. But just know that online, the odds that you'll find somebody who is honest and not backstabbing, I would say a 10% chance at best, 5% typical, because eventually they will betray you. This is just the nature of how toxic this world is online. Because online people see others as expendable. They see them as just an avatar or name. They don't see them as a real human being. Lots of immaturity, lots of ignorance. Now offline, that's where you should be focusing most of your effort. Close the tablet, close the smartphone, get off of social media, go out there and meet real friends, real people, acquaintances at least, and you'll be surprised. Then you have a lot better odds of finding positive people like I do every single day. I interact with plenty of positive people offline. It's a pleasure, it's a relief, because when the moment you jump online, for that portion of your day, you're like, oh, here we go, here's the circus. Here's the circus. We're the performers. Oh, there they go again with the same thing, the same agenda. So the goal is to distance yourself from such idiocracy, such scum, and always have a positive offline life. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. All right. So making positive changes all begins with understanding why it matters. Like I said before, either you take it seriously or you don't. And this is just another example of that. You have to understand why it matters to be a positive thinker, a positive person. Let bygones be bygones and move on. Move on with your life. If you're living a negative life right now, a miserable life full of anger and misery, try to better it. Otherwise, you're only hurting yourself. Despite you can have trolls helping trolls, and they're all celebrating their misery together, thinking that they're happy when they're not. And then a lot of people think they're so clever when they're not. They really aren't. So, positive changes, like I said, the way you think, the way you feel, and the people you interact with, especially online, be very careful. Offline is where the true gold is at, as far as golden people with golden hearts. Many negative people will insist on living miserable lives, so don't be one of them. Always be the positive one. Be the example. Despite the odds, especially online. Like, they don't know, but trolls, whenever I interact with trolls and idiots, like, I laugh in the end, or I laugh in their face, because if they only knew how ridiculous they sound and how they're behaving, and they think they're so cute and clever, and like they're actually laughing when they're not, I can see the sadness that's just emanating from them. They're so miserable on and offline, you can tell. So that's the only reason they come online, is just to vent their frustrations. But hey, I wish the best for them. Maybe one day they'll wake up and realize how stupid they're behaving online. But, like I said, online is just like the world of Expendables. Nobody really cares about anybody. I mean, I care, but to a certain extent, right? Only to those who deserve it. So careful with these absolute statements, which are shown here in this slide. They're not fully true. We're going to go over them. It's all in the details. The past cannot be changed. That's true. But what you do now is going to be your new past. So technically it's not true. You see what I mean there? So let's move on to number 2. Opinions don't define your reality. That's wrong. The way you think, including opinions, do define your reality. Be very careful how you think. Overall, everyone's journey is different. This is true. You can have a similar journey to somebody else, but it's not going to be the same. Things always get better with time. This is not true. There's a lot of problems. If left unchecked, they only become worse with time. So number 4 is not accurate either. That's why I'm saying be careful with these ways of thinking right here, this list. Be very careful. This is like absolutism. Be very careful. Happiness is found within. That's not true. Happiness is found with your soulmate. The longer you take to realize that truth, the more misery you're going to experience in your life. And also misfortune, because you may never find your soulmate. And then you're going to live a pseudo life that you think that you're happy when you're really not. It's called living in denial. It's everywhere. So, overthinking will lead to sadness. No, sometimes you have to overthink some things because they're more important than other things. You have to double down and really think about it before, you commit to action or you commit to a decision. So overthinking is not always bad. And generally, for quicker decision making, yes, because you're overthinking something that should be really simple. But not absolute. You don't put these blanket statements like that. Will lead to sadness. No. That's teaching you actually to not overthink things and not take things seriously. These are really bad messages here for the most part. Positive thoughts create positive things. Not always. Not always. It's not guaranteed. That's the sad part of positive thinking, is it's not going to be guaranteed, but the idea is to never stop, because you will eventually receive positive outcomes, but you have to always be positive. You see what I'm saying? So it's like playing the lottery. The more tickets you have, the more odds you have of winning. But that's a really drastic example because, barely anybody's going to win the lotto. But the idea remains the same. You want to have an abundance of positivity. That way you have more chances to create positive things or positive outcomes. All right, so it's not always guaranteed. That's why this statement here is flawed, because it's no. I mean, for the Not always, sadly, right? Smiles are contagious. Not always. You got some really evil people out there. They can see you smile all day, but they hate your guts. Contagious only for those who have a good heart, who have a good soul, a good spirit, great mindset, great emotions. Smiles are contagious in that case. But you'd be surprised how many miserable people there are out there. They insist we're going to go over it. Kindness is free. No, it takes a lot of energy to be kind to the appropriate people who deserve it. Don't just be kind to everybody. You get what you give. So if you give me disrespect, you're going to get disrespect in return. Fire with fire. If I have to, if I deem it necessary, I'll go over that. You only fail if you quit. Well, not necessarily. Sometimes you got to just end things. Just leave it alone. Okay, it's not a success or failure. It's just like the Vietnam War, right? They wanted to insist on winning, so they send more troops, and more troops die. It's just that type of mentality where you don't want to quit. It's like a gambler's mentality. Very unhealthy. So know when to quit. Because if you don't quit, then you're just going to lose more and more in certain cases. And that's a failure. That's a horrible failure, but not knowing when to quit. Give it a rest. Stop it. You're not going anywhere, right? Especially those who are falling on their own swords. When I see them online, they're always upset. They always want to create all this drama. They're falling on their own sword. I try to warn them about it, but they insist. So they're failing really hard, all by themselves. You don't even have to tell them anything. It's like they're slowly killing themselves. Absolutely unbelievable. Alright, so let us proceed. A positive relationship is all about trust, as I went over in the trust live stream. True love, protection, support, zero negativity, as I describe in my book and my movie. Never letting go. Now, we're talking about your soulmate. This is a positive relationship, right? Because if you just have a friends with benefit relationship, it will end in misery. It will end in sadness. You will be heartbroken. You can pretend like, oh no, it's not a serious relationship. We're just dating. You're living a miserable life. And if you're involved in a marriage that is unhappy, miserable, like all these angry people that come online every day, these people have horrible marriages. Anybody who has the word angry in their name description, or they're always acting like a gangster, like they're all tough and bad, and oh, I'm gonna get my gun and I'm gonna go hit you. I'm gonna go assassinate you. Like, there's death threats every day online. It's really insane. I mean, all these people have miserable lives offline. Either they have a horrible marriage, or they're still living with mom and dad, and because they have a unsuccessful economic reality. I mean, there's a lot of upset people out there, miserable people. So positive relationship is something that is just that, positive, going up, going forwards. So yeah, you gotta be able to distinguish between positive and negative. Very important. It sounds easy, but prove it, right? Positive mindset. Also note that a positive mindset means coming up with the best solutions to any problem. So online, like I said, there's plenty of problem causers. They cause problems. They enjoy the drama. These are the stupid people who enjoy drama. They just cause more problems. And it doesn't matter if you give them advice, they won't stop. They're addicted to negativity. They have a negative mindset. And they're going to suffer the consequences one way or another. It's karma. But having a positive mindset, that means moving forward, moving up, ending things that should be ended, that are negative, eliminate all forms of negativity, move onward, redefine yourself perhaps if that's what's needed, on or offline, by the way, and some things have solutions, other things don't. Just know which is which. That's having a positive mindset, right? Know how to distinguish. It's wisdom, it's intuition. You have to know how to distinguish between what do you want to pursue in life. You want to be a loser forever in the negative world, or a winner in the positive world. Because good things come to good people, I'll tell you that much. all the hypocrites and backstabbers and liars out there, they're going to get what's coming to them eventually. I don't have to lift a finger. All right. So, it brings us to this. Absolutely. You know, he only had 300, right? The Spartans. He didn't need an entire army of thousands like the Persians. Definitely made his statement, though. He was one positive thinker, even though he ended up losing. But did he? Because his name is marked for eternity, right? His legacy, the example. So, it doesn't matter if you win or lose in life, as long as you have a winning mentality and you're not acting like a loser. So, be an honorable warrior, okay? Defend yourself when appropriate. Great leaders will always have obsessed enemies. Like I have online, I have a lot of enemies because they're negative thinkers, they're losers, they have nothing going for them, nothing positive to say. It's always negative, it's always drama related. That's not what I do on my channel. My channel, I produce positive content, useful content, and also my book and movie, if you're interested. And yes, those are to be purchased because I spent a lot of time, over 800 hours on that book and over 70 hours on the movie. So, yes, you know, you're not supposed to give stuff away like that for free. You know, these are actual products. You produce these things. As far as free content, well, I deemed it free content. You know, this is out of the goodness of my heart. So take it or leave it. But the book and movie are far more special because they really get into it. All of these subjects and much, much more. Over 120 subjects in the book, and then the movie is just a quick 1-hour version, but full of wisdom and intuition. So hopefully you guys check that out. If not, just remember to be a warrior in this life. You know, be the best leader that you can, despite the odds. Because, like I said, I feel like Leonidas. I have to defend myself, and however many are behind me. You know. And the reality is the Persians are everywhere. The trolls are everywhere. You got to expect these things when you're a great leader because you attract the negative with the positive, right? Unfortunately. When you're a winner, online and offline, well, no, I'm sorry, only online, because offline this doesn't happen. Online, you're going to attract all these stupid people who want to try to bring you down like crabs in a basket. And they're gonna talk about you a lot, negatively, of course. They're not problem solvers. They just want to cause more drama, and so they end up becoming what they said they despised once, which makes them hypocrites as well. So I stand for freedom, but in a positive light, not a drama light, not a useless one that's going nowhere. So yeah, here I am, and I encourage you to do the same. In the name of good, not evil. So, bringing us to, as a positive warrior and leader, you will always have losers who are jealous and envy your power. Okay? Jealousy is a killer. I have people jealous of me just because of my military experience. I'm like, that's my military experience, not yours. Why are you jealous of that? Just because I have a bachelor's degree in business management, just because I'm confident, courageous, and outspoken, fearless. Of course, jealousy's everywhere. They don't like that because you're emulating, you're exhibiting power, and they don't like it when they meet a powerful individual. They have a choice: either befriend you or be envious and jealous of you. And the trolls online, all the negative people, they're always going to be envious and jealous. They can't stop talking about you in a negative fashion. It's just a reality, you know? So be careful for all the winners out there like myself. You will have even a small army of trolls. It's going to happen. But it doesn't affect me because I'm always going to be a positive thinker and carry on with my mission, which is what I'm here for. So the best thing you can do is just distance yourselves from all those losers, and just don't participate in the drama that they need, because, you know, feeding the trolls, right? They desperately thirst for your attention, because that's their life supply right there. They're like the Walking Dead. So that's what they need to keep walking like a zombie, instead of bringing life into their lives and changing into an alive person that's really alive and positive and helpful and productive and useful to humanity. So the ones without purpose will always trying to bring you down, just like crabs in a basket, as I said, due to heavy jealousy and envy. All right. Let's go ahead and check out the chat, see if there's any sign of intelligent life out there. Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, we have Train Buff Boy 47. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry I didn't read your comments on the last stream. It's because normally I don't have any comments because of the time zone differences. Alright, so let's see what this young man has to say. I succeeded every day by just being myself. Good stuff. Sometimes it's scary. I'm shy about that. I only have one friend. Hey, as long as he's your best friend. As long as he's your best friend, that's all that matters. One is better than none. Alright, only people forget that... Oh, online people forget that there's a real person with real feelings behind those avatars. Yep. That's what all these trolls don't realize. They don't care because they're narcissists. They're, what is it called? When they only care about themselves. It's not greed or anything, but it's, they only care about themselves, so they don't care about anybody else, you know. I'm the funny one in the group, the one that keeps people positive and keep them going because I like helping people. There you go. See, this young man understands what it's like to be positive and the importance of being positive. All right, so he's got to go. I got to go too. Thanks so much, Train Buff Boy 47. Keep doing your thing. Your success will come to your channel soon, if it's not already there. And wishing everybody who is a good person, you know who you are, the best in life, now and forever. And for all the trolls, hopefully you guys get better because it's really a mental illness, you know. And I'm actually honored to be your enemy, you know, if you want to consider me your enemy. I mean, have fun with it, but as far as desperate for my attention, that's just a sad reality. You know, I hope you get over it one day. It feels like you guys have a crush on me. It's really creepy. So, and I'm not homosexual, by the way. I'm heterosexual, so I'm already taken. So, if you want to keep dreaming about me, keep doing so. So, you see, that's the way a positive thinker thinks, as a great example here. And I hope you guys, once again, be a warrior. Don't be afraid to defend yourself because you will have opposition the more powerful you get. So, once the trolls go away, then, well, I guess that's the best case scenario. But if you're doing something to upset people out there, sometimes you're doing the right thing. Believe it or not. That's why they're upset, because you're so successful. So, all right, that's all I got for you guys. Enjoy the weekend that is fast approaching, pretty much here. And till next time.